Chapter 19. Sinterklaas. It was December 12, 2007, a cool and clear Friday afternoon. After the events with Gabriel and the minister, the boys were enjoying the first day of their vacation at the ranch. At the ranch there were Gavin, Daniel, Alvord, Marycross, Mariah, Samantha, Roger, Adrian, Louis, Angelica, Priscilla, Aaron, Rasmus and Gustav Marvin, a tall, dark boy, short black hair, black eyes. Wearing a brown shirt, black pants, always with his coat and his headphones in his ears, Gustav had been accompanying the group since the first year. However, he was always on the sidelines of all the events, but that day he met with his friends at the ranch. Before night fell, Black called everyone to the meeting room to give a warning to the rest who were at the ranch that day. "We have an important message to tell you tonight. Myself, Roger, Adrian, and Louis," said Black. "What is it about?" asked Gavin. "Well, my parents have made the decision for this vacation to go. I'm going to visit my grandparents in the south. I won't be with you for a few weeks. I'll return before the start of the new academic year," said Black. "And what other message do you have?" said Marycross, turning her head towards the rest of those who were there that day. "I will also travel. My parents have decided to take a 4-week trip to our homeland. In the same way I will return before the start of classes," added Louis. "I must help my father with the horses and the family coffee business, cocoa and apples. It seems that, for next year, the Hallmark's candy store needs a supply of chocolate, apples and coffee for its sweets. My father mentioned that to me. As punishment for what happened with the suspension order, I must help you. I will return a week before the start of classes anyway. Arthur will accompany us," said Roger. "I must also pay a punishment. Professor Berenice had sent 14 letters to my parents for my behavior. Now I must go to work at my uncle's shooting range at the amusement park. It is a time when people visit the place a lot. It will be packed, so I will earn some money," said Adrian. "I will go on a trip too. I will go to visit my father," added Priscilla. "I will travel." Professor Arnold created a group of wind instruments for a recital in a distant land. "I will be away for a few weeks," said Mariah. "My father asked me for help with a 2-wheeled vehicle that they make at the great campus. My brother had a problem and won't be able to accompany my father, so I'll go." Angelica also mentioned at the ranch. "Rasmus and I will be away for the holidays too," said Aaron. "What? Really? But what if some sign of the prophecy happens? How will I fight alone?" Gavin asked worriedly. "Well, I'll stay here. I could give you a hand," Samantha said kindly. "Oh, please. You haven't wanted to help us all these years," Gavin said sarcastically. "Bitter." Samantha answered with disdain. "I'll stay here. My mother and father have a lot of work in the summer at the Antoska clinic checking the children's teeth and cavities, the sweets from the Hallmark's candy store. Every time he sends more and more clients to my parents. We're not going anywhere," said Alvord. "Thank goodness," said Gavin. "Gavin, I'll stay the same. This year my dear sister will visit us. So no, we will have to travel," said Marycross, Alvord, Marycross, me, and Samantha. Well, I think a group like this will be able to solve it in case a problem occurs," said Gavin resignedly. "Won't your family take trips, Gavin?" asked Black. "No, my family doesn't usually travel. They are complicated people with travel issues. However, when they travel, they never invite me. Or I'm busy, so it's the same," Gavin added, and everyone laughed. "The black sheep of the family," said Louis, and again everyone laughed again. "Gustav will accompany us too. Right, Gustav?" said Samantha to Gustav, who was behind Gavin. "I have never accompanied you, but I am fascinated by helping you if you require it," Gustav answered. "Great," Gavin shouted with a happy expression. "Excellent. You five will be in charge of the ranch while the rest of us are gone, said Black. At any sign we will keep you informed, Gavin mentioned. May luck be with you, Roger concluded, saying goodbye to everyone. The meeting ended, everyone left for their homes. Since that weekend many began their trips with their families. As for Gavin, Marycross, Alvord, Samantha and Gustav, they stayed at the ranch. The days passed, Christmas was approaching. The days were very calm. To Gavin that seemed very strange. Since the death of the minister in the school gym, nothing like this had happened. On the morning of December 20, 2007, after breakfast, the five boys at the ranch played a game of cards in the ranch's common room. Don't you think it's strange, the tranquility these days? Said Gavin. Why do you say that? Asked Gustav. There is a prophecy unfolding. At any moment something could happen, a sign from the witch, it would ever. Said Gavin. We just have to be prepared, said Marycross. Guys, and I have to be in a duel? Asked Samantha with a worried expression. You don't even have a weapon, how are you going to duel? Gavin said. Samantha, I think that you and I, not being experts in using a weapon, the best thing we could do is stay and guard the ranch and have Gavin, Marycross and Alvord be the ones. Let them go where an event happens, said Gustav. Good idea, added Alvord, who did not want to give an opinion on the matter. Well, changing the subject, did you send your letter to Sinterklaas this year? Asked Samantha. I did. But I doubt he will bring what I asked for, because of this whole situation of the suspension order. I wrote the letter with Louis in July. Louis had no idea who Sinterklaas was. Ha ha ha, Gavin replied, laughing. Why that? What did he tell you? Alvord asked. He told me that in his hometown they knew him by another name. He didn't tell me the name. So I told him that in Pizcet, Sinterklaas was the legend who brought us the gifts he received. We order every Christmas, and on December 24th, when you went to sleep, Sinterklaas arrived at homes in his reindeer carriage, so he told me. Yeah, in my town it's the same. And he changed the name of the recipient to his letter and gave it the name Sinterklaas, Gavin said, and Alvord laughed. I sent you my letter. I hope you bring me my new set of paints from watercolor and oil, said Samantha. I also sent him a letter. Marycross, did you also send him a letter? Said Alvord. Yes. I want new books, said Marycross. Excellent, you will enhance your knowledge, he said. Gustav, I hope so. Did you send him a letter? Marycross asked. Yes. I think everyone at the ranch sent it this year, Gustav added. While everyone was talking about the letters to Sinterklaas, the grandfather of Christmas, a sound was heard where someone had knocked on the main door of the ranch. Who could it be? Gavin asked when he heard the sound of the door. I'll open it, Gustav shouted, and he got up from the table and went to the door. When he opened it, there was no one, so he lowered all steps and went towards the black home. To verify that no one was breaking into it, after not finding any clue, Gustav climbed back to the ranch in the tree. When he climbed the last step, he found a red letter in green. On its edges, had a decoration of red and white lines. What is this? He asked himself. So he took it and went to the common room of the ranch where the rest of his friends were. Hey, were any of you expecting mail? Asked Gustav. No. Why? Said Gavin. Another lost letter from Professor Berenice to Adrian. Ha ha ha, said Alvord, and everyone laughed. No, look, it's a different letter. I've never seen anything like it, said Gustav strangely while holding a letter that looked different from an ordinary one. You're right, said Marycross. Let me see, said Gavin, and Gustav handed him the letter. Gavin took the letter, checked it on both sides, but there was no identification or return address. How strange. I'll open it, Gavin said, and opened the green and red letter, and inside there was a message. Greetings, my dear friends, boys of Asgard Ranch. I have known you all since you were little children, and I know what good people you are. For a few years I have been watching you, fighting against the prophecy, and I applaud you. I am very old, but I wanted to ask you a huge favor. I send you this letter as an invitation to the land of Christmas, to my home. I would like to be useful in some way in helping you with this prophecy, as I did on previous occasions with the heroes of the past. It is very easy for me to send you this invitation since you are people who have never stopped believing in Christmas and in me, despite being 18 years old. You have always been faithful to the Christmas season. Christmas will always be with you. You and I will be with you if you will always believe in me. Believing in me will always have more value than a good action or a bad action of a child, adolescent or adult. I have something that can be of great help to you in this fight. I wait for you in my home, in the land of Christmas, tomorrow afternoon. One of my elves will be waiting for you at the Christmas tree next to the great cathedral. He says goodbye. His best friend every Christmas, old Sinterklaas. I can't believe it. Sinterklaas just sent us a letter and is inviting us to his home in Christmas land. Gavin said, very happy. We must go. Where is Christmas land and how will we get there? Alvord asked enthusiastically. Oh, it can't be. You are going to meet Sinterklaas and I will have to stay in this place, said Samantha with a stunned voice. Lucky ones, said Gustav resigned. Of course not. You will come with us. The man has invited all of us from the ranch as the letter says. The ranch will be safe for one afternoon, Gavin said towards Samantha and Gustav. Gavin, where is the Christmas tree? Asked Marycross. What's wrong? Gavin continued reading the letter and ignored that Marycross was touching his shoulder. I asked you a question, said Marycross as he continued hitting Gavin's shoulder. Oh right. Next to the great cathedral there is a huge cypress pine. Every Christmas they decorate it with Christmas lights. Every December 1st, the city council holds a ceremony to light it. It is said that there is the entrance to the land of Christmas. I know it, my mother and my grandmother told it, said Gavin. Is that all? Asked Marycross while raising his eyebrows. Well yes. That's what I know about Christmas land. They told it to me when I was a child to go to sleep, said Gavin. Ha ha ha. You were missing something, said Marycross. What? Asked Gavin resignedly. According to a book I read, Christmas land is a mirage on Death Mountain, which only appears to those believers in Sinterklaas, said Marycross. And why? When you were there in the duel against Vibera and Firma, did you not see her or mention something to us? Said Gavin. Because the land of Christmas is like a mirage. We are believers in Sinterklaas. But it is accessed from the cypress pine of the Grand Cathedral. When you get there, it teleports you to the land of Christmas, explained Marycross. I didn't know that. Gavin answered. You're lucky that Marycross handles all the information, said Alvord. Yes, and in that thing you read, did it say something about how to enter the pine? Asked Gavin. Let me see the letter. Let's see. I understand. The letter says that an elf will be waiting for us, so it won't be necessary to know how to enter, said Marycross. So I can go whenever I want to visit Sinterklaas? She asked. Samantha, no, the only way to access is what the letter says. And that is for Sinterklaas itself to make you an invitation, said Marycross. Should we bring coats? Asked Gavin. Yes, even though it's summer in the land of Christmas. Snow is always present all year round, the book said. It's a pretty cold place, Marycross concluded. Everyone got their things ready, and on the day that Sinterklaas had indicated his invitation, they left the ranch for the great cathedral. Gavin, Marycross, Alvord, Samantha and Gustav set out on foot to search for the elf in the cypress pine. After several minutes walking from the Green Hills neighborhood to the Grand Cathedral, they arrived at the aforementioned pine tree. It was around 4 in the afternoon. The bells of the great cathedral announced the beginning of the entrance to the spiritual cult of Eshen, and at the same time, 4 o'clock. The cypress pine was a tree of more than 40 meters. Its age was around 70 years since it was planted. It had almost more than 1,000 bulbs in its decoration and in its crown, a star. In the place, everyone was wondering where the elf was. "There are no traces of the goblin," said Gavin. "Will it be a trap or a lie?" Gustav mentioned, "Sinterklaas would never do that with its faithful believers," said Samantha. "We will have to wait," said Alvord. "Yes, let's wait," said Marycross. After several minutes waiting and observing the tree, a voice spoke to them from the top of the tree, "Welcome, guys," and as they watched, a small elf was coming down the stem of the pine and he told them, "Come with me." Everyone looked at each other and decided to follow the elf. A small door formed in the trunk of the pine tree and it opened. The elf entered first, followed by Gavin and Alvord, Marycross, Gustav and finally, although a little doubtful, entered. At the same time excited, Samantha. When everyone crossed the door, a white glow appeared and in a few seconds, they appeared in a place full of snow. Behind them was a giant mistletoe tree, similar to the Grand Cathedral pine in height, and in its crown, a foliage of leaves formed a silhouette of an elf. "Beautiful. It's a mistletoe tree," Samantha exclaimed. "Mistletoe?" Gavin asked. "What is it?" Alvord also asked. "They look like small cherries and their leaves are sharp," he said. Gavin, mistletoe is used in Christmas decorations. Tradition says that when people are under the mistletoe on a door, it is a sign to kiss their true love, explained Marycross as she took one of the branches to give the explanation. "Did you read it in a book?" asked Gavin. "Yes, of course. If you read more, you would know," said Marycross, winking her eye. "How beautiful," said Samantha as she took a branch of the mistletoe. "And the elf?" asked Gustav. "Welcome to Christmas land. Come with me. Mr. Sinterklaas is waiting for you at his home," said the elf. The boys began to follow the elf. It was a snowy road. It was cold, climbing a small hill, and when they reached the top, they saw that beautiful landscape. This is the land of Christmas, the magical place located on Death Mountain, where those believers in Mr. Sinterklaas, a mirage in the upper parts, are welcome, explained the elf. Fascinating, said Gavin. What a beautiful place, said Samantha. Christmas land. The place where it's Christmas all year round, said Marycross. Ha ha ha. My sister could live here. She starts decorating our home for Christmas after September 15th, said Gustav. What meaning does the date have? My mother decorates until December 1st, Alvord added. September 15th is the date of the founding of the town of Pizcet, you should know. After that date some people who love Christmas start decorating, they don't care Halloween or Thanksgiving, they love Christmas much more, said Marycross. I don't go to history classes. I always confused it with May 15th, said Alvord. No, that day is the day of the celebration of the construction of the great cathedral, the original one, in 1914, said Marycross. You know all the important dates. That's great, said Gavin towards Marycross. Of course, New Year's Day on December 31st, Grand Cathedral Day on May 15th. July 25th, the unification of Pizcet with the district of Captain Jolly Drake's Great Colorado Bay in 1896. August 2nd is the day of the deities when the summons were discovered. August 15th is Children's, Father's and Mother's Day, or better known as the Day of the Nuclear Family. September 15th, Foundation of Pizcet. October 9th, the day of the founding of the Town Hall and the Lunesk Station of Pizcet in 1931. October 31st, Halloween. Last week of November, Thanksgiving Day. December 1st, Thanksgiving Day, heroes of the Civil War of Pizcet in 1948, Christmas December 24th and 25 inches, explained the girl. You are very intelligent, Marycross, said Samantha. And what about the other days they talk in history class? Asked Gustav. Well, on the day of John St. Mary, which is named after him, he was a hero who burned a barracks in the Civil War. On the day of the native Martha Queen, who saved his town from slavery, on May 1st, the day of Pizcet's work and commerce, and there are many more, concluded Marycross. Everyone finished walking and talking when they were fascinated by observing that small Christmas village, small cabins with their roofs full of snow, decorated with decorative light bulbs that flickered every second, snowmen, candy canes next to the columns of the homes, nutcrackers like sentinels outside the homes. Night was beginning to fall in the place and the lamps in the streets were beginning to illuminate. It was a quiet town. In the air there was an aroma of gingerbread cookies, and the Christmas carols and bells set the mood. Instead, the sky was full of northern lights. All the inhabitants were very hard-working little elves. Some places in the town were homes. Others were cookie and pastry shops, candy stores, toy stores. After walking for a few meters, they arrived at the Sinterklaas home. Come forward. Welcome. Inside, Mr. Sinterklaas is waiting for you, said the elf. Everyone entered. Huge gates with chocolate-colored iron bars opened. A large iron castle with 2 large chimneys awaited them. Look, the aroma of gingerbread cookies emanates from those 2 big chimneys, said Samantha. And the Christmas carols come from the roof of the castle, said Gavin. Once inside, they were greeted by a tall man with a big belly, a red trench coat, a white beard, reddish cheeks, white hair and a big smile. Welcome, dear guys. I'm Sinterklaas. Thank you very much for coming. I was waiting for you, said the old man. Hello, Mr. Sinterklaas. It's a pleasure to meet you, Gavin answered. The rest of the boys seemed surprised by the person in front of them. Sir, did you receive our letters this year? Asked Samantha. Oh yes. Those from all of you. Everyone in general. And don't worry, this Christmas I will fulfill what you asked for, answered Sinterklaas. Really? Despite what we did last year? Gavin asked in surprise. Young Fowler, don't worry. I have been aware of the events. You are innocent. The evil witch has done all kinds of tricks to make your lives miserable in your fight against the prophecy. I believe you. However, I want to tell you that it is likely that more and more, the closer you get to the date of the prophecy, within a few years, it will gain ground. And it will not be long before it appears, and puts its entire arsenal against them, so be prepared, and that's why I want to help you. I remember the witch the last time. She destroyed everything in her path, she ended many things as we knew it, and possibly my Sinterklaas ancestors also lived that. We Sinterklaas only live 200 or 300 years, argued Sinterklaas. It's good to know that you are on our side, said Marycross. Of course, and that's why I brought you here. I want to help you. I am already too old to use my skills, said Sinterklaas. Skills? Have you been in duels? Asked Alvord. Not so much, but yes, I am a summoner. It is the discipline of the Sinterklaas, said Sinterklaas. How impressive. Marycross mentioned to him. Yes, but I have not been in many years. A duel or make a summon. Since the last time the witch appeared, I helped the ancient heroes, and now I want to help you, said the old man of Christmas frankly. And how will it help us? You don't appear to just anyone. Not just anyone has seen you. You are a legend, said Gavin with admiration. I want you to have the summon of Nicolaas, the snowman, said Sinterklaas. Do you really? Asked Alvord. Yes. Nicolaas has been lying here in his sanctuary for many years, said Sinterklaas. And how will we obtain it? Gavin asked. First, I need help with a task, outside this castle. There is a lamp that has been possessed by the witch. Since I am so old, my powers are not the same, and she took advantage. Only get out of this place and you will see it. Eliminate that specter and put the light back on that lamp and come back to me, said Sinterklaas. Count on us, said Gavin, while the rest of the boys raised their thumbs up to Sinterklaas. Me and Gustav, we will stay here, said Samantha. Of course. In the meantime, I will show you something that you will love, mentioned the old man as he left with Samantha and Gustav. Gavin, Mary Cross and Alvord left the castle and went to visit the possessed lamp. When they arrived at the place, they looked at the lamp and it was green. Its appearance showed an evil face. When they looked at it, it lit up and the attack began. Duel. Lamp used Berna and Electra, and was immune to physical attacks, so Alvord's whip and Gavin's boomerang attacks were useless. Mary Cross used fast and cast reflect on her group mates and the agility increased. The lamp again attacked with the same attacks, so Gavin and Alvord attacked it with Aquara and Frieza. After several blows, the ghost of the lamp was eliminated. It was quite weak for the level of power that this trio had, and this lamp gave light again, so the boys returned to the Sinterklaas home. Excellent, guys. Well done. I knew I could count on you, said Sinterklaas gratefully. It has been an honor, sir, said Gavin. Well, come with me. Look, Samantha and Gustav the first sent you to the ranch. With them I sent you some gifts that you had asked for. I hope you like them. One of my elves did me the great favor of taking them to your home, said Sinterklaas as he addressed the boys with his hands behind his back. Thank you very much, sir, said Mary Cross. This is the room where Nicholas rests. I want you to give him this toy as an offering and make the corresponding bow, and Nicholas will be with you, said Sinterklaas. Once in the temple, next to the altar of the sanctuary, the three gave the offering. They bowed and a cold breeze flooded the place and the spirit of Nicholas joined Gavin. The boys had obtained the summon of Nicholas. We will not let you down, said Alvord. I think coming here was better than our friend's vacation, said Gavin. The pleasure is mine. It is my contribution to this cause, as I said. I am already old and besides I have work to do. The believers, they need me. Every year is a lot of work. They wait for the gifts of your letters. I also wanted to tell you that Christmasland has a transportation lamp, for when you like to visit us. Now, take my hand, and you will be returned to your home. I wish you the best of luck. You will win and have a Merry Christmas, the old man concluded. Merry Christmas, sir, they all told him in unison. They all took Sinterklaas's hand and in the blink of an eye they appeared again at the ranch. Under the Christmas tree in the common room were their respective gifts, decorated with parchment paper. A green bow in the shape of a box. Your gifts, here are ours, open them. It was what we asked for, said Samantha happily. Everyone proceeded to open their gifts on a Christmas Eve from Sinterklaas. Mary Cross, by the way, this is yours. It was in the mailbox, said Samantha. Oh, thank you. What is it? Asked Mary Cross as she took the letter in her hands. I have no idea. Open it, said Samantha. I'll open it later. For now, let's celebrate Christmas, friends, said Mary Cross. Months passed, the new year arrived and the month began to move with its days quickly. It was January 28, 2008. There was less than a week until the start of classes and the beginning of their 7th year. That day in the morning, Gavin, Alvord, Mary Cross, Samantha and Gustav were waiting for the return of their ranch companions who were slowly returning. Daniel, Louis, Roger, Adrian, Priscilla and the others. Gavin took the opportunity to tell them about Sinterklaas and his meeting with it, and obtaining the summoning of Nicholas. Oh, that was better than the walk I had with my family, said Black, who hated going to the beach to watch people sleep, of course. And everyone, it's not every day you meet Sinterklaas, said Adrian. Did Sinterklaas tell you anything about the witch? Asked Priscilla. He mentioned to us that she was powerful, in the gifts he sent us. A letter told us about the fact that there was little time left for her to make her appearance. The things of the prophecy were going to happen more quickly, the disappearance of people. Small signs of war, ruin, devastation, are the signs that we must continue to observe, said Marycross. That day in the afternoon, they decided to visit the central market at the weapons store. And all the 10 boys in the group got their third-phase weapons. Gavin had a 3-pronged bronze boomerang for 3 bursts, bronze spinner, Priscilla, a bronze book. Although she had obtained this one in the library as a prize from Madame Layla for beating her in a game of chess, Daniel, a machine gun, her 3rd bronze weapon, machine gun, Roger. A bronze trident, bronze peak, Angelica. A bronze katana, Ronan. Mariah the bronze staff, Bonds, Marycross. The bronze staff, Oafagazer. Alvord. The bronze whip, bronze harpoon, Adrian. His bronze ring, bronze pixelet, and Louis, his bronze wand, Bronxwyn. All weapons were more powerful than their second phase, steel, and giving more strength and precision in attacks. Upon their return, Marycross and Gavin had stayed behind, and together they walked through the neighborhood before arriving at the ranch. It's incredible all the adventures we've had over the years, Marycross said to Gavin. Yes, it's been incredible and exhausting, but we've managed to overcome them as a team, Gavin replied. Let's hope it all ends soon and we can live in peace, said the girl. How have you felt all this time with us? Gavin asked, remembering the conversation they had had when they met on the swings at school. Wonderful. And it was all thanks to you. You are a great friend. You introduced me to everyone. You listened to me when I was sad, and I have felt happy. You are one of my best friends, said Marycross. Thank you. It's nice to hear that from you. I hope to continue being your best friend for a very long time, said Gavin. That's how it will be. When classes start, I want us to go talk again on the swing, where we spoke for the first time. It's nice to remember that day, said Marycross smiling. Of course. We have to go back. It's always nice to remember good times, Gavin exclaimed enthusiastically. If I forget, remind me. Promise. Marycross shouted. Gavin for a moment remembered his friend Marie's promise, when they were 6 years old and he never heard from her again. He looked at Marycross again with tearful eyes. His mind playing a mental game that he hoped that this time, that promise came true, and he didn't lose his new best friend like he did in his childhood. A great worry plagued Gavin's mind. But finally, he smiled and said, I promise you. Gavin said, you're the best, said Marycross. Gavin and Marycross arrived at the ranch and there, in the common room, the boys were worried. Long faces could be seen on everyone, shocked, after observing what they were seeing on the television and a newspaper that was on a table. Hey, what's going on? Gavin asked. And those faces? Marycross asked. Listen, Black said as he pointed and turned up the volume on the television. The television was on the Pizcet news channel, where the patriarch, the mayor, the city council commissioner and the director of the school were on it. After several months of investigation, we have confirmed that the murder of Minister Homer was a homicidal act by some students. We have already identified the culprits. Soon we will be giving the news of who they are. These people, as of today, have been condemned under the first sin by the patriarch for this murder and the disappearance of people. All sin must be condemned under the weight of the law. These people should not be free. In a few weeks we will give the names. These rebels will be captured, imprisoned. The school promises the people that these students will never leave the school. They will be part of the dungeons until they complete their sentence being in the cells. They will only leave to receive their classes, meal times, and then they will return to the cells. It is a joint plan with the Lunesk station, so as not to fill the cells of the Lunesk station with students. We have 10 people identified as guilty, and behind them, more than 30 people involved as a criminal organization, so we will soon have the final sentence for them. With the help of the city council and the Lunesk station, we will put up posters around the town so that people and inhabitants know them. In case anyone escapes from this security measure, they are searched and captured immediately. Good afternoon, inhabitants. We will keep you informed. What the hell? Aren't they talking about us? Said Black. Students? But we didn't do anything? Berenice killed the minister. Gavin shouted. Are they really blaming us? Lewis, I don't think they blame the Scarlet Eagles, added Roger. If this is the work of the witch, it is likely that she already has power over the patriarch, City Hall and the Lunesk station, and wants to take revenge on us for what happened. Barilovrin, she knows that, if they put us in a dungeon, she can continue with her plan without any problem, said Adrian. Everything seemed calm this summer. But this news is the new beginning of everything, said Gavin. We must prepare, friends. A new, even more difficult beginning is about to begin in this fight, said Angelica. Mary Cross left the ranch that day. Without warning, she acted strange, went home. She told Gavin that he had to do some housework. Letters she had received, so she said goodbye with a big hug with her best friend, and told him that they would see each other again on the first day of classes of the 7th year.